Hello YouTube, hello MGTOW, this is me, MGTOW in the win. Now, I'm going to tell you where this beef started. The beef started with Baron Yam the first time, between Maga Man and Baron Yam the first time. When Maga Man assumed that Baron Yam was something he was not, without even talking to him, he blocked him automatically and didn't want to hear anything of what he said, and he just basically assumed that it was nothing but BS. Okay, so I had to go in there and clear that up. Get him on a panel, have a conversation with him, settle this out. Then Dan King and Slippery When Wet comes in, and they start making parodies and making cracker jokes about him. And then after a while, we've realized they're making a lot of noise. And they seem to be adding up. You're up to 3 trolls. Maga Man, you're up to 3 trolls. And then we turn to find out, have a conversation with Maga Man. We try to have a conversation with Slippery and Wet, Dan King, and Maga Man. Dan King and Slippery and Wet were all for it. Maga Man was acting like a little kid and saying, "Why did you associate with him? You shouldn't associate with Dan King and Slippery and Wet." Well, you wouldn't tell us what's going on. I wanted to hear their side. We wanted to hear their side of the story. We wanted to hear both sides of the story. So, it's what it is. And then he goes after Baron Yam for wearing a BLM mask. Yam was actually pretty repulsed from wearing that freaking mask, to be honest with you, Maga Man. If you would have basically gave him a chance to talk. So basically, Yam put it in his head, saying, "You know what? He doesn't even care. He don't even care anymore at this point. What's the point of caring when you're not even going to listen? You have blocked him, Dan King, Slippery When Wet, and you've basically made yourselves look like a jackwagon. Good job, Maga Man." Now, here's where I come into play, and where my respect for Maga Man comes into play. Richie, it comes back from this beef that a long time ago that I had with Richie Romance. I don't know, there's not a lot of people there. The only people that were in my corner for that this is before Yam came coming into YouTube, but the only people that were in my corner for that were Tico Trent, Sean Holiday, and Screwhead. Yep, I do believe that was it. Tico Trent, Sean Holiday, and Screwhead, and there may be a couple others. Everybody else pretty much sided with Richie Romance. The other part is a lot of other parties I kept separate from that beef. Now, I will tell you this: with as much as I don't agree with Richie Romance, and I have a don't dislike for Richie Romance, I respect him more than Maga Man, Walter Hillgas. You know why I respect Richie Romance more than you, Walter? Because Richie Romance had the means to dox me. And he didn't do it. That, even though with his problems, even though with Richie Romance's problems, not only does he have a job, he didn't dox me. He didn't dox me. Oh, and one more thing. His band, Maga Man, his band actually got airtime on television. Let that shit sink in. Let that swirl around in your head, engine of the sun, like a fine glass of wine. You know why? Because he knows how to operate. He knows how to freaking run. He knows how to operate sound equipment. He knows when to let the sound technicians do their job. Let that stuff sink in, Maga man. Let that sink in. Let that swirl around in your head like a fine glass of wine. You know what you did, Maga man? To have me completely lose what little respect I had for you? You doxed people. 2 people. You doxed 2 people. You doxed 2 people. Congratulations. The icing on the cake is when you block people and don't even allow them to speak. When literally the only reason I block is because is to defend my chat, so that everybody else can have for their freedom of speech on my content. That's the only reason. If they drop porn links on my chat, and that's to defend everybody else, to allow them have a chance to speak their piece. That's the only time I block somebody on my chat, on my channel. It's to make sure that everybody else has a chance to have a say in it. Maga man. You have repeatedly, you are literally going to sit here and dox 2 people and think that I'm going to have respect for you, think that I'm going to ever trust you again. I'm going to hit you where it hurts. No wonder your baby mama left you and your kids don't want, and I don't think your kids want anything to do with you. Your baby mama left you and your kids don't want anything to do with you, Walter. You're shacked up. You're shacking up. And no amount of apologies to Dan King or Slippery When Wet. I don't care if you apologize to Dan King or Slippery When Wet. I'm still never gonna trust you. I'm still not gonna associate with you. You have taken the manosphere and fractured it. Good job. Good job. But I'm gonna sit here. I'm done. I'm gonna let that stuff sink in a bit. This is McTown the Win, signing off.